Hello, my name is Francis Fox. I guess I'm in a little bit of a state of shock, but not because of bad things, but because of good things. So I'm going to start with the map of the energies of the United States. This is the energies in the other dimensions where reality is created. So if this map looks good, and it looks really good, then that's what's coming up, unless somebody makes some god awful decisions or a lot of stuff comes together. Usually it's very large emotional explosions. Um, but this should be what's coming up for us, and it looks really good. I know that seems impossible with what's happening in the Mideast, but I've been pretty accurate. And this is not wishful thinking. Big heart in the United States, at least two triangles of protection from the Galactic Federation, um, and the words peace on earth. This is not wishful thinking. This is what's in the other dimensions, and then it manifests on the physical. This is good. This is not good. This is great. Not so coincidentally, I do want to look at the map from yesterday because there was something there that I think I didn't say that might have been important. No. So if you get on X, you'll see a lot of people so upset at Trump and we're going to go to war. And he keeps saying, well, whatever. This would seem to indicate that whatever it is he's negotiating, doing, not doing, it does not seem to indicate we're going to war. The planet has been dividing into two separate planets with two separate resonances. Is it possible that there will be a war and then we're all going to go into this? I don't know. This is a very interesting time in human history. All I'm saying is for those that are here, that are holding this resonance, this looks really, really, really good. And not so coincidentally, I just finished a class on superpowers. Miracles are superpowers, but they're not really repeatable. Um, and we are in the age of Aquarius, and we're supposed to be acquiring our superpowers. So this is the first time I've given a class on superpowers, and I went ahead and went into the third eye. And I'm going to repeat this. The Mayans were the only people that successfully ascended successfully. And it's such an issue that scientists continue to try to find out what happened to the Mayans. And it would have been a year ago, December, that they came back from an expedition to find out what happened to the Mayans. And they thought maybe it was a flood, and no flood, no catastrophe. We still don't know. And they've been looking for the reason, for the explanation of how the Mayans from one minute to the next disappeared. They ascended gracefully and apparently maybe with their physical bodies. Because we do leave. Our physical body gets trashed, it goes to earth, and our spirit goes someplace else. This is the information we got in the chat today. Half of the information I've had for years, and the other half I just got today. When the Mayans did all of their work, the galactics said, we don't like all this power that you're acquiring. If you want permission to continue to explore human consciousness, the human mind, then you are going to have to sacrifice a percentage of your population, which is the reason for the Mayan sacrifices. It was a negotiation with the galactics, and it would have you wondering today if that doesn't continue to happen, having to do with the satanic cults and etc. That it was something that was an agreement. In the Mayan times, it was to achieve something so that the humanity could continue forward. And that's why when they chose the people they were going to sacrifice, which was the best of them, it was considered an honor because they were doing it to help their people. It wasn't just that they liked ugly rituals where people were killed, and they had to be killed dramatically because what they needed, the galactics, was that astral force of negative emotions. This may not make sense to you. Just get the information, leave it there. Astral force. Emotions, the definition to move out. In Hinduism, it's a force. In Star Wars, may the force be with you, they're talking about your astral body. Okay. Um, so the information that came in today was that when was it? At that same time, when there was a negotiation between the Mayans and the Galactics, and you guys could say, wait a second, I'm here to hear about Schiff and Trump and the war. Okay, then you shouldn't be here today. I'm here to give you information that I get that I think you need. You may not know you need it now, but that's okay. Click off, not a problem. As I said, I'm not a gossip. If I've given you information that you have used as gossip, okay, we're gossiping about the Mayans and why, if they're so evolved, they would have sacrificed their best. They negotiated with the ETs, and that's what they had to give up. But the second thing, which is what came through today, is that the galactics and the Mayans knew it, tied up the third eye. And the way I explained to the people that were in the chat was I have had something very weird underneath my breasts. It's like a thickness, but it's like a rope. I don't go to doctors. So I said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to die from this. I have no idea what it is. I'm just going to let it go. It turned out that it's thousands of my mind strings that got into a rope type structure, which the mind streams do a lot. The mind streams are in the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic and a lot of other places. And it's there to hold my heart center kind of protected and closed because I can't be with my loved ones. My first pregnancy, they killed my baby. They kidnapped my kid when he was 10 days old. I witnessed too many things. I can't take it. My heart is broken. I cannot take it. I haven't been able to see my family. I can't see people. So my heart is broken and I'm a cancer. So that is something I did to self protect, to hold. The Mayans did that in the third eye of all of humanity. At the same time, they negotiated the human sacrifices to hold so that humanity would not be able to access superpowers that are in the third eye. We were able to release it today. So you may find yourself being able to see more and to become more magical because apparently when I do these things, I'm not just doing it for myself and the group that paid for this particular class. I'm doing it for everybody. The same way when the Mayans did it, they did it for everybody. But again, I'm just giving you the information I get. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. And you could not believe it now, and maybe in 6 months you go, wow, she did say that. Maybe why this is happening. So one of the things that came up, which I'll share with you, that what's good for to continue to develop your third eye is the crystal opal, which I'm not even sure it's called a crystal, and a cactus that's called prickly, what is it? Prickly pear, which is a cactus. Now the cactus has spines, the little, uh, whatever you call them, thorns. And that, what they did to Jesus Christ, he was just reminding us that we have something that's holding our third eye in. We are not allowed to access it. That programming, I believe, was programmed today. So, like, I have been liberated. Like, I finished my task. I finished getting what I needed to get, that information that can liberate human beings. Yeah, I know I talking about I'm so fabulous. Actually, I am. But as I tell people, you just watch. You're you're the watcher. You look, you see. Um, it's information. And if you don't believe anything, then start to ask yourself what your explanation is for them having put a crown of thorns on Jesus Christ. Oh, that was abuse. I know that. But why would they choose that? Why didn't they put it around his neck? There's a reason for everything. And all of that is to trigger us into asking why, going into the causal. Um, I don't think that this is a coincidence that I would sketch this peace on earth, goodwill to all men exactly the same day that someone on planet earth, which ended up being me, was able to decipher the whole thing with why Jesus Christ had a crown of thorns and to undo it. Age of Aquarius, superpowers. We are gods. Why was it blocked? Because if we had access to our superpowers, those darn black god awful galactics that are killing our kids with their invasions, particularly at night, they would be dealing with equals. We would be equals. We are gods. We are creator gods, but we have been totally sat on, tied down, tied up. Maybe now we're getting released. So I am going to go ahead and call this quits right now. I'm very tired. I'm very happy, but I'm very tired. And at this point, I need to take care of myself. There's a lot of stuff going on. I also believe that today my enemies understood that they're not going to be able to take me down. Talking about the political enemies. So I think they're kind of like giving up. I don't think that's a coincidence that that's happening today, also. I think everything is very synchronized. So you should look at your life and see what it is that finished up, maybe even today, the 19th of June, 2025. What is it that wrapped up, finished up, you're able to drop and leave behind? And remember that intention creates reality. Every time I have had to battle in a huge way when I thought I had already finished with my enemies, I would say, what you have to say every time you have a problem: why do I need this problem? If you have a kid with problems and you take them to a psychologist, the psychologist has kind of a version of that. They'll say, why don't you leave your kids home and you come, you and your husband, or if you're just single mom, you come and we need the kid. The kid is a symptom. So if you have a problem and continue to have a problem, you need to ask, why do I need this problem? In my case, why did I need my problem? The problem with my handler. Do you know how much I learned that I'm now sharing with everybody, including you that watches my chats? Do you know how much I learned from having to deal with him? And I have said it for years. I have learned about magic, and I'm going to teach you white magic through looking at the black magic, but also through what has been done to me in terms of black magic. And the ultimate information that I learned from my handle and Adam Schiff was people can control you through their mind, which are mind strings. Oh dear, that's a little fly, which means in my world, black magic, but it's very small, so it's okay. And if it was big, it'd be okay too. We'll deal with it. I wouldn't have understood how humans can control each other with the cults and the sexual abuse, the stuff with Diddy, all that stuff, the satanic. It all has to do with mind strings, and the biggest way of inserting your mind strings in someone is violent sex. So we have to get that information. And I wouldn't have had that information if my enemies had dropped off 6 months ago. I only have it now because I had to continue to deal with it. When I was discovering my handler having his mind streams inserted in me, and then Adam Schiff. So there's something of an endpoint here for me. And I think also for the planet. That doesn't mean it's all over. I think it means that a big battle is all over. And when I look at the map of the United States and it looks so great and it says peace on earth, that's not wishful thinking. That's psychic information from a trained remote viewer, and I have a very high accuracy rate. So that's it. And I'm not even going to do mantras. I'm going to take care of myself right now. Okay? So thank you for joining me. And by the way, the thing with the clips where I went on and on and on yesterday, I can understand why people are addicted to AI. I'm going to be able to get out so much information with that new service. It's like candy, and candy's not good for you.